Thanks for dropping in. This is a 3D printed swivel seal, and it's the newest addition to my growing collection of posable models. True to its name, the seal has a swiveling head with a surprising range of poses. This all works to a simple ball joint, which is held in place with a scrap of flexible TPU filament. The model comes with two different heads, the default round top, or a flat head with a port for a hat. Over the last 2 years, other designers have made some wonderful hats for my Fidget snowmen, pumpkin people, and posable penguins. I kept the ports for this model consistent, so all those hats should be compatible with the seals as well. If you want to print your own copy, here are some tips so you can make your own ideal seal. First, set your seam position to random, or place it around the back of the seal's head. Otherwise, you'll probably get a small scar that runs up the neck and over the eye. Add a very slight fuzzy skin to the head and the body. This will give the ball joint some extra grip, and that'll help it hold its position. Some of my test prints use 0.2mm layer heights, yet others use 0.1. To be honest, I can't really tell which ones are which, so I wouldn't bother with the slower print times that come with the smaller layer height. The only place that layer height might matter is the top of the round head, where you might get some visible stepping. To hide this, you could use variable layer height, or just set your top infill pattern to concentric. That'll help make the steps less obvious. And finally, if you're printing the eyes separately from the head, add a large brim. This is partially to improve bed adhesion, but it also makes it easier to keep track of these tiny parts. Assembly is simple enough. First we'll glue in the eyes and give them a little tap to get them to fall into place. Next, take a scrap of TPU, or a thin rubber band, and thread that around a small catch in the bottom of the head. This step can be a little tricky, so you may want to use some needle nose pliers to help fish that filament back out. Flush cutters also work, and unlike pliers, which I can never find, every drawer in my house has a few extras sitting around and ready to grab. We'll now push both ends of the TPU into the base and pull them out through the bottom. Then we'll tighten the TPU and tie up the ends. Finally, test that everything feels right and trim off the excess TPU. If you plan on adding a hat, you can either glue it on or use a TPU hat pin. That way it's removable. This idea for a hat pin comes from a great remix by Joe Kelley. Check out the video description for a link to their printables page. Our collection of little posable creatures keeps on growing. Now, do you have a specific critter request? If so, let me know in the comments. It may become a model in the future. But until then, happy printing and thanks for stopping by. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Today's video was a little short, so if you want more 3D printing stuff, check out my recent interview on HotMakes. We talk about puzzle boxes, my first foray into 3D printing, tricking yourself into productivity, my Braille cell project, and much more. Oh, and if that's not enticing enough, Zelda the cat makes an appearance, so now you have to check it out. Links are in the usual spot. Alright, I'll see you there.